Now we have the terrain model defined. Now we want to add depth to that terrain model. And we want to display the surface below that terrain model. We want to see the pavement layers displayed underneath this finished surface. So we're on page 17 of the PDF file, and we're going to model the pavement layers underneath our terrain model element. We're going to go first of all and look at the templates that we're going to use to build the model, the pavement layers underneath the roadway. So on the task menu, we'll go to tasks again under the civil tools menu, open up the corridor modeling toolbox, and under corridor modeling we want to select the command called create template that you see here. We'll open up the create template dialog box, and these are the same templates that you use within modeling a corridor. They can be used in several different ways. So we open up the create template dialog box, and now following through the steps on page 23 of the document again, we'll go to tools, and we want to open up what we call the template library organizer, which is right here at the top of the list. And we're going to use the template library organizer to actually copy some templates from an external template library into our project template library so that we can use them within our project, within this training class, within this scenario. So we open up the template library organizer. Again, it allows you to copy templates from your active drawing file that you might be in if you've edited a template or created a custom template from a roadway model. You've edited it directly in the corridor. You can bring that into the new template library file, or you can copy it from an external template library file into your project template library file, which is what we're going to do. So on the right hand side under the column called available in, we want to hit the browse button that you see here. We want to browse to our Bentley training folder. We want to browse into the training directory, approach and driveway modeling class, and we want to open up the file called intersectionmodeling.itl. So we'll select that template library file and hit the open button. And now we can browse into that template library and we can begin looking at the individual templates within that ITL file. We open up and expand the templates folder. Under the intersection modeling folder, you'll see there are a couple of extra templates under there. And all we want to do, let's open up again on the left-hand side, let's open up our template library on the left. And we want to just take the intersection modeling folder and the templates that it includes and bring that into our project template library, or our active template library that we're using in this training class. Now to do that, all I have to do is select that folder and just drag it over, and I'm going to drop it directly in the templates folder of my project file. And now I have taken that intersection modeling folder and the templates that it contains and moved it over into my active ITL, or my active template library. And once we've done that, we need to click OK. Prompts us to, do we want to save that as we've got it with the new templates in it? And I'll say yes, I do. Now within my active template library, you'll see I now have the intersection modeling folder here for me to use, as well as the templates included inside of it. So this is a way, again, to share templates, to quickly and easily transition and copy templates and bring them from external sources into your project file, into your project template library if you need to use them. So let's continue on. We've taken the templates that we want to use within our intersection and we've moved those into our project library file. I'll close the template library. On page 19, I'm going to continue and actually apply the surface template. So to apply that surface template, we want to go again to the Task menu, open up the 3D Geometry toolbox, and under the 3D Geometry toolbox, we want to select the command titled Apply Surface Template, which you see here on the screen. So we select the command Apply Surface Template. If we follow the prompts, or you can work on the dialog box. Let's just work off the dialog box first of all so you can see what's going on. We want to select the template that we want to use to generate the pavement layers within our intersection. So I'm going to go down here on the dialog box. I'm going to hit the Browse button. And that puts me right back. It opens up the template library within my active file that we've been using. I'll open up the intersection modeling folder, which we just copied over and saved into our template library. And we're going to use the template Pavement Asphalt. And you'll see the 3 layers, the 3 components or pavement layers that are going to be constructed within our model. So I'll select that template, Pavement Asphalt, hit OK. And now I've moved back and start following the prompts on the cursor. So I'll locate the terrain model, and I'm picking this in View 1 or the 2D view. Then it prompts me to apply an external clip boundary. I don't want to do that, so I'll leave that set to no, and I'll data point. Now again, I could have, at this prompt, I could go and select the template. We did that previously off the dialog just so you could see the interface a little more directly and see the template that we're going to be using. But at this point, I could hit the Alt button on my dialog or on my keyboard and the down arrow simultaneously, and it would open up the template library to select the template. We've already done that, so I'll data point to accept it. And then data point to accept the selection. It's highlighting the area around the terrain model, the boundary really of where it's going to place that template. And then I'll data point to accept that selection. And now if I zoom in to the 3D view, you can see the 3 layers based off the template that have been created. Now in my 3D view, we transition in the 3D view. If we want to change the display mode in the 3D view, go to View Attributes, change your display style from wireframe to smooth, and data point. And now you can see the surfaces or the components that were built in the build-up to that intersection element. And that was placed based off of the terrain model that we created previously. Okay? So if we zoom out, we now have that intersection created. We're going to model the curb and gutter, the sidewalk, and the end conditions around the exterior of the intersection. So right now we have, we've built the pavement, the wearing surface area, but now we want to include the curb and gutter and the sidewalk and the cut and fill slopes around the intersection. We're going to use a linear template to model along the external or the exterior edges of our intersection. So on the Task menu, browse down to the 3D Geometry toolbox once more. And we're going to select the command Apply Linear Template. So we'll select Apply Linear Template. Again, this command uses the templates within your template library. The same template library, the same templates that you would use when modeling a roadway or a corridor. So again, we'll follow the prompts this time. Locate the element to apply a template to. It's going to walk along this horizontal and vertical element, and it's going to place that template at a certain interval, a certain template drop interval. So what I want to do is I'm going to start on the west side, and I'm going to place the template beginning here along the western edge of pavement. So I'll select that element, follow the prompts, select the element that I want to place along that element. So in this case, I'm going to hit the Alt key and the down arrow on my keyboard simultaneously. That'll open up the template library. Browse into your intersection modeling folder, open, and we're going to use the template called Curb and Gutter Sidewalk Tie Slope. And you can see that template here that we're going to use. So we select that template, click OK. Data point to accept that template selection. Then we have to define the start and stop station along that element. I'm going to zoom in so we can see what's going on. Just hit the Alt key if you haven't already. You can hit the Alt key to lock it to the start of the element. Data point, you can hit the Alt key again to lock it to the end of the element, although you do have the option to change that if you want. We just want to hit the Alt key so that we run that template along the whole length of the element. Data point. Now moving your cursor left and right, you'll see that that linear template can be placed in either direction along that element. So we want to be certain that we're going to place that template to the exterior, to the outside of the intersection. So I'll select the western side and data point. Leave the exterior corner sweep angle at 5 and data point once more. And then that will place that template along that horizontal and vertical element. And you can see that on my screen on the right here. So there's the curb and gutter section, sidewalk, and then the side slope, the fill slope around it. And we'll continue now. We're just going to continue placing a linear template. We'll place that around the curb return. So I'll select the arc that we created. I'm going to use the same template, so it's just a matter of data pointing to accept it. I want to hit the Alt key to lock it to the start of the arc. Hit the Alt key again just to be sure that you have the lock there, so you're locking the template to the end of the element. Data point to accept it. Pick the side. Remember, the location of the cursor is important here. Be sure to data point to the outside of the curve and leave the sweep angle at 5 and data point again to accept. And now as you place this, you can begin to review the model itself. You can hit the dynamic rotation here. So you select that button. Be sure and select rotate view if you're not familiar with rotating in 3D. Then once you've done that, this arrow that you see here, or an arrow, this plus symbol that you see here, this is the center of the rotation. You can pick that up and move it. What I like to do is just tentative snap to a certain point, just tentative in MicroStation. So wherever I tentative to, it places the center of the rotation at that point. And then as you rotate, you left click and then hold the left mouse button down and just move your cursor to rotate the view. Now let's place the linear templates along the eastern edge of pavement. So again, I'll go back. I ended the command previously. I'll go back to apply a linear template. Follow the prompts. We're going to place that template along the eastern edge of pavement. The template is the same. Leave it set to Alt, or set the Alt to lock the start station, and be sure the stop station or end station is locked as well. Be sure to select the proper side, data point for the sweep angle, and then it's placed. We'll do the same for the arc, for the curb return. Select the element, the edge of pavement element, data point to select the same template. Be sure the start station is locked to the beginning of the element. Be sure the end station is locked. Data point, select the side. Again, be sure we're on the proper view and we are located outside of the intersection. Then data point and data point again without changing the radius. And now in the 3D view, you can set the 3D view active if you like. Again, set the center of the rotation. And you can look at that model as it's created. You can zoom in and look at the buildup of the roadway in that area as well, if you like. And that concludes this class and concludes this exercise. Thank you very much.